Hello my fairies and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something that is part of the SSO Rewrite project, but I can also use this for other projects. So this build is a performing arts training / rehearsal place. This is something I did end up making this because I do need a training / rehearsal place for the SSO Rewrite project. Point of view character Emily is an actress and singer and has a bit of a dance background, and her sister is a dancer. So, well, I'll probably do a few scenes of them at the place where they train. So I better design a place. It's your pick, so there probably won't be a need for the car park, but I decided I wanted to add it in. Partly for realism. Partly because when I write another project, I will probably have characters who do some sort of performing arts, and I will need a design similar to this. So I made it quite versatile. I took some inspiration actually from the building where they filmed the first 4, I think, seasons of Dance Mums. I think the building, I'm not sure what the building's actually called, but it is where the Abbey Lee Dance Centre was working out of. So I don't know if it's called the Abbey Lee Dance Centre or Dance Company even. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, that did provide me with a little bit of inspiration. In particular, I really like the part where you can sit upstairs and look down into the studios, which I just think seems incredibly practical when you've got a group of people rehearsing and they've got parents who want to watch them. It's just impractical to have every parent in there. So I really liked that, and I incorporated that into my design. I ended up doing a few rooms. I did a office / staff room area. I did this sort of main reception room. I did a storage room that I just put costume racks in for now. I'm probably never going to show that in any of my work, so it doesn't matter. I've got a changing room which has got some stools and sinks in place of having a separate room for like toilets. And for the studios, I have one room that's set up as a music room. I put a piano in there, some instruments, there's some seating. One room that's set up as sort of a gymnastics type area. I put down mats that look kind of padded. That's a good place to practice tricks or slapstick things where you're going to be hitting the ground quite a lot. A quite large room that is more designed for doing big group dances. And there I set out some chairs. Was kind of inspired by Holly's comment, empty chair, do a solo. So I set out some chairs, and then there's a smaller room upstairs that is just, it's just a room. It hasn't got any assigned purpose. They'll bring in the equipment that's needed. And because of the size, it's typically used for like private lessons, rehearsing solo pieces like monologues, solo songs, solo dance routines. I mean, it's a room where you don't want to use one of these bigger rooms because you've only got one or two people working in there. This project is actually quite custom content heavy, I'd say. I used these upright pianos that are custom content. I really like these because they look a bit fancier than the keyboard, but they don't take up as much space as the classical piano. And a lot of the decor in the music room is custom content. I've got these stands for sheet music, these cello cases. I know cello players probably bring their own, but they're huge. So I think it'd probably make a lot of families' lives easier if there were cellos there at the rehearsal space. Hey, as for this public toilet slash changing area, I quite like this on sort of a practical level. Can save space by using this room as some public toilets and a locker slash changing room. I've got lockers for people to keep their stuff in while they are rehearsing or in class, and there are doors coming from the locker room straight into the studios, so you can just get dressed and just go straight into one of these rooms. That is if that is where you are rehearsing. But given how the room that's not connected on on the ground floor is music, I mean you can probably do anything that you're doing in that room in regular clothes, so you don't have to worry about putting on special dance gear. Yeah, I kind of like it on a practical level. It doesn't look the nicest, but yeah, I think it's the most practical. I'd probably in real life I'd probably do gendered rooms because a lot of people feel more comfortable with that. But it's easier in The Sims just to do um unisex rooms, so that's what I end up going with. Okay, so up here is where I did the smaller room that's more for like private lessons and rehearsing monologues and solo songs and dances. And I used these really cool mirrors. I got these from a set called Bathroom by Harry, and it's mirrored on one side, it's a window on the other, so it can be used as kind of a mirror to see what your audience would be seeing basically while you rehearse. But on the other side, your actual audience can watch without getting in the way. For kind of padded gymnastics mats, I ended up using these dance floor things from Get Together because they kind of like they're meant to be some sort of padded mat. I've lined the walls with these giant mirrors that I believe came from the same bathroom set. And I like these because they come in the different wall heights, but also you could use the shortest one and you can move it up and down the wall. Oh, I quite like that. Yeah, I've left out there some bits of props that someone's been rehearsing with to kind of just give this room a bit of life because otherwise it's just an empty room unless I've got some Sims in there dancing. Which I guess I could have. Of course, this might be used for other things, but I feel like due to the size, on a practical level, I feel like it would probably be used as a dance space more often than not. So yeah, what I did, I basically just did rooms the same size on top of them, and then removed the floors so that I could create this space that looks in. And again, these windows, I believe, are from the bathroom set. You can use to make a window of any size you want. I use these a lot in my builds because of how customizable they are. Of course, it comes in regular window and the mirrored one-way thing. All I ended up adding up here is just some seating. Um, Maybe there should be like a little kitchenette for when people are in there for long periods of time, like the last week or so leading up to a performance when you're just rehearsing constantly. But if you've got people in your cast who are very young and their parents will need to be there with them, of course the parents would need to be there for a long time. Yeah, I can definitely see why parents don't hang around at their kids' activities a lot. Yeah, I use these sectional sofas. These are from a set known as Simkia. Uh, I re- I really like it. You can use those to make L-shaped sofas or whatever, but I just use them to make super long ones. I did start off with this little office, but I decided to expand that and turn that into a staff room as well. So I did do quite a lot of playing around here, trying to make it work with the upstairs. But in the end, I settled on this space that I ended up doing. I've got a little bathroom, got a toilet and sink, and I added in a shower. I'm thinking if you are a choreographer or a dance teacher, you're probably working out quite a lot. You might want to shower before you get on the bus to go home. Yeah, I just made up some seating areas. I put a TV up there because, well, one, they can watch TV on their breaks, but also you can use TVs as basically interactive whiteboards, like at school, um, to have presentations or film footage that you need for a meeting. I tried to incorporate the upstairs, but in the end, I decided that this bit should just sort of have this extra bit of roof, so more like an extension. And maybe it was an extension that was built on. I don't know. I say I don't know, like I haven't just designed this entire place. But yeah, that is a finished sort of structure, and I did end up with a lot of lot left over. I wasn't sure how big this would be, um, so I did do it on the biggest lot available, but I didn't end up using all of it. So I will probably, whenever I want to do any sort of small house builds, I'll probably go in onto this lot for a while, and it's kind of, and I can use those kind of fill out the area, give it more of a look. Yeah, for the floors, I end up doing this kind of like vinyl because it kind of looks like Marley, which is the floor that's best for dancing in point shoes. So I was probably going to put that in the studios so they can be used um for point work. But in the other areas, I did use this um white grey wood, and the walls are all the same. That is because that causes a lot to lag less. because the game doesn't have to load up as many textures. I also kind of felt like it gave it this kind of sleek, modern, industrial look. Yeah, I really like the effects of the big window looking down on the Sims down below. And I do like the big mirror covering the walls, which is typical of dance studios. But there is a problem in game, in which the windows aren't being reflected properly. So that does cause problems if I want to get nice footage or photos. I am hoping they fix that soon. So I did these little spaces in the car park that to do some gardens. I think they look quite nice, and I think it kind of just brought a little touch of nature to the area because it is otherwise quite industrial looking. Yeah, as you can see, there's just a ton of space. I did consider just fencing off the area and saying, okay, let's just have this as like multiple lots, but then I decided, I'm just gonna build around this and try and just make it a cute little area with a few houses and this studio, and it'll probably just look nicer. I hope I haven't decided as of building this, since I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'm either putting it in Jarlaheim or Jorvik City. I feel like it came out quite industrial looking, so I'm thinking it'll probably make sense in Governor's Fall, which has got a bit more of an industrial look. Whereas Jarlaheim is more sort of old fancy buildings and it would kind of look out of place. But that said, maybe it is just a building that looks out of place in its area. Yeah, I'll work that out. Hey, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget that the SSO Rewrite project is in aid of rescue horses with the Blue Cross, so please consider sharing the project or even donating. Right. Thank you again. Stay safe, practice self-care, wear your masks. Bye!